Hope you don't mind. Oh, hold up, y'all. I ain't got my sounds set up. Hold up. There we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back again to push this cosmic P. Hope everybody's had a great week. Has taken opportunity to observe their mind, observe their thoughts. This is what this is about, right? Observing our thoughts, observing the mind, knowing that we are not the mind, knowing that we are not the body. And if we are not the mind and we are not the body, then who the fuck are we? If we are not the mind and we are not the body, then who the fuck are we? Started a little earlier today. We're gonna get this we're gonna get this work in today, y'all. Gonna get this work in today. So shout out to all the P pushing homies who been standing on. Hold up here. Got too much shit open on this screen over there. Pull it back over here. Making sure, hopefully, I'm actually coming through. Yeah. Hopefully I'm actually coming through, coming through, coming through, coming through. Hopefully what's needed to come through is coming through. Let's see. This thing load up. Let's get a couple folks up in here. For those that is watching the replay, sorry. You know, you can zoom through till you see that other what's the name pop up. The other screen pop up that shows that I'm screen recording the actual book. So, the book, niggas. We are here to read the book of non-duality, at the Veda Makaranda, which means non-dual nectar, the nectar of non-duality, the nectar of non-fucking duality. I'm gonna push this out to what's it called? Threads. Post this on Threads. See, you never know. People like, I don't never get to catch your live. Well, got something for you. Cause I don't never do shit at work. I don't never do shit at work. Hey, all right, y'all. We 3 minutes in. What we finna go on to do? We finna go on to get this motherfucker started. So let me get my little drink. Oh, you know what? I am on TikTok too, so I gotta watch that I do not hit that vape. Cause they blocked me on TikTok from going live. If I hit that vape. So we finna get this thing going though, y'all. Non-duality, non-dualistic systems. What does that mean? That means there is no two. We always think there is a two, something separate from you, but that's the trick of the mind. If you understand, that's the trick of motherfucking Maya. And if you've been sticking along with this YouTube channel for probably like the past 5, 6 months, probably a little bit longer than that, go back and we've been talking about that, right? If y'all on TikTok watching this, please share this video. It will be worthwhile for the eyes that it falls upon. We haven't even got started yet. I see my people coming, popping up in the chat over here on YouTube. What's happening? What's happening? Rose of Flame 757. Peace be upon you, brothers. Please, peace, peace, peace be upon you, brothers. What's happening to the P pushers? If you're on IG Live, we are definitely over here on YouTube as the main platform. So I will not be able to see comments from TikTok to Instagram. Let's see how small I can make everything, and then that way I can actually see everything. I see as much as I can see before we get started here. Boom, that way I can see the whole chat. So we finna get started, y'all, with this live reading, non-duality, right? How does it go? Know thy motherfucking self. If you're doing anything spiritually, you have to understand the first thing started off with you trying to know yourself. And in my mind, it's actually you trying to know the little self, the ego. From my level of understanding, it's been you trying to know yourself, the ego. And what we're pushing for here is for you to know yourself, the self, pure consciousness, pure awareness, the source. Coop TGS, yo, 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 we having it. What's happening? What's happening? Call me P Pusher. What's happening, bro? What's happening? Non-dual gnosis, my gnosis. What's happening, guy? Brave 636 in this motherfucker. What's happening? What's happening? Peace, brother. Sharing out the session. Be right back. Okay, bet. We finna get started, bro. We finna get started. Just giving a little introduction for everybody to come in over here on YouTube. Cause what are we doing here? What are we doing here, gang? We're taking the recognition. We're having the realizations or the realization of the self. That's the goal. It always has been the goal in spirituality. Anything else is, you know what I'm saying? It's play. It's play. And this whole reality, if you understand the Hindu mythology of Shiva, it's called Leela. The play of Sheila. The play of Leela, right? And we've heard that plenty of times, and you know what I'm saying from our teachers that it's a dream. Oh, this is actually an avatar, and we're actually somewhere else. Yeah, not a being, not a human type of of a person existing is projecting itself down here into the manifest reality. No, it's just pure consciousness itself that's doing all the projection. And the mind is the one creating all of the projection. You see what I'm saying? So, Mothra, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? We got the gang showing up tonight. We got the gang showing up tonight. The gang is showing up tonight. I got my damn. I just hit that vape. Damn the TikTok. Shit, y'all. I hit that vape on TikTok and I gotta remember not to do that. So I had to duck off and do my drugs. But nonetheless, yeah, we're back with some good old GMO. Get back with some good old GMO. We finna get this thing on the road. Just letting everybody come in. We got Mothra. We got 757. What's happening, Mothra? Mothra. Alright, y'all. Let me get this set up so we can go on and hop in. We finna do verses 19 through 21. We may go past that, may not. Um, we'll see. So let me get this set up. Let me see. What am I doing? Can y'all hear me good? Is the audio coming through good? Is the audio coming through good? Somebody in the chat, let me know. Yo, let me know, y'all. So let me get this thing started. Okay, role playing sound good. Martha said, careful with that vape. No, facts. Yo, okay. No, facts. I'm trying to get my TikTok live juices pumping. You know, they ain't like YouTube. You can't be smoking that vape, boy. You be smoking that vape over here on TikTok. So I get my body, mind habits under control. So hold up, y'all. Make sure got everything under control over here. Move the chat to over here. Shrink the chat down so our Facebook won't be able to read it. Look at this. How did this get out of place? That's what tripped me out. Whatever, man. Um, let's add this on over here. Boom. Show screen. Okay, collab cam. Boom. We live. We got action. Oh, we got action. We got action. Now let me know how that show on the screen though. Is that showing through clear? Let me see. See what Instagram is like. See, Instagram don't never show right. And I ain't got time to be fixing up Instagram. Instagram be what Instagram be. If we're gonna be quite honest. How they look. Everybody let me know how to what's the name look, y'all.
All that bullshit ain't got shit to do with the goddamn soul.
Just clear my mind. Wait for you. Just share. What's happening? What's happening? Wait. Well, we got a whole bunch of little cells here, so I can't figure out a reason that. Let's get it. So, we did chapter 18. We finished chapter 18 last week. We're gonna pick it up on 19, y'all. So it says, in me, the mic is crackling. What about now? How's the mic sound? How's the mic sound? Yo, yo. Everybody chime in. If the mic sounds okay. Anybody else feel like the mic feel like the mic sound? The mic sound. Definitely make sure the mic, very choppy. Ski, you know we over here on YouTube, dog. Bring your ass to YouTube. How about now, y'all? What I sound like now? Yo, what I sound like now? Am I still choppy? The choppiness chopping. Damn, motherfuckers. Okay, now, all right, now I'm getting mixed shit now. Okay, no, okay, okay. So much better now. Much better now. Something up with these settings I gotta get together. Okay, all right. Everybody say we good. We good. All right, bet, bet. No further need to think that everything is ruined. Let's see. Audio is clear. Say less. We in here, gang. All right. In me, who am sentience itself. See what I'm saying? Hold up, man. Make this. Y'all can see the whole goddamn page. I feel like y'all can see the whole page now. So it says, in me who am sentience itself. So you start seeing and when we get into non-dualism, when we start talking about happiness, love, freedom, knowledge, when they relate these concepts to the self, what you're getting from them is saying it is that pureness of whatever title we talking about here itself. So it is love, pure love itself. It is knowledge itself. It is sentience itself. It is awareness. It is existence itself. Peace, peace, peace. Society, society. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Gotta me grab a cup of coffee real quick, but still listen in the background. Say less, bro. Bet, bet, bet. Got me a good sparkling water. That bubbly. Drinking bubbly. So be aware of that. It's not even be aware of that, but just always pay attention to that. Really. In me who am sentience itself, this division of sentience and insentience is imagined like the moving and unmoving elements on the smooth surface of a mural, right? So, here's the explanation of that. Like many Advaita texts, the Advaita Makaranda begins with an assumption that there are two pure consciousness. And all that it oh, da, 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 da. Like any other Advaita text, the Advaita Makaranda begins with an assumption that there are two pure consciousness, and all that is observed by consciousness, which is matter in the Vedantic sense. That is, matter is that which resists consciousness. So anything that objects to consciousness, anything that pops up to your awareness is an object. It is matter. It's an object. So anything, that's why we say any thought that pops up, any idea that pops up, any God, any ancestor, any books, any text, any feeling, any thought, any DNA, anything that pops up is an object. Anything that can be made aware of is an object to awareness, to pure awareness itself, which is you, the self, right? Matter is that which resists consciousness. Using resists in the sense that we use it to say that matter resists light, right? All right? The way matter resists light, and that's the way that we see things. And then the brain or the mind or the eyes process that information and send it through a processor data stream like the brain, like a computer, and then it gives you back the image, right? Because remember, we don't experience reality direct. We're not even seeing reality direct, and that's just basic science, which we know the ancients have already figured out, right? Let's see. In the sense that we use it to say that matter resists light, empty space is dark because there is no matter to resist light, right? I think we understand that, right? There is no matter to resist light, so empty space is dark until one comes to a planet or a moon or an asteroid or stardust or other material objects that can reflect back light. And then only one gets illumination. That light has to be reflected back. Then you get illumination. Similarly, Matter is that which resists consciousness. Consciousness is the illuminator. Matter is the illuminated. Consciousness is subject. Matter is object. Consciousness is I. Matter is it. All right? Matter is it. Matter is it. Chuck told my brother Panic looking at. Jnana Sadhana begins with this assumption of radical difference between consciousness and matter. So, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even got to explain it. That's very self explanatory. And so, we try to realize pure consciousness by distinguishing, my bad, by distinguishing it from all objects. And thus, we seek the subject, not by making it an object of search, but by trying to identify with it. Do you hear that? That's the difference. And thus, we seek the subject. So, don't, it's basically saying you're not going to be able to make consciousness the object. You see what I'm saying? That's why when we saying know thyself, it sounds like you're trying to make the self an object to be known. It's a play on words, but not really. It's a paradox within its reality. So you don't get to make you shouldn't be trying to make the self an object to be known. It's not an object to be known. It's the pure subject. It's only the subject. You see what I'm saying? It's only the subject. Everything arises to it as an object. Hopefully that was clear. So, as thus we seek the subject not by making it an object of search, but by trying to identify with it while seeing all objects of experience as illuminated by the consciousness. Let's see. Well, damn. The fuck matters beef about? What did consciousness do? Hold up. What did consciousness do? Hold up. What did consciousness to do it for such rejection? I was about to say, damn, what the hell you talking about, Rose Flame? I get you. What did it do? And see, and that's what I was just parnificating in my mind the other day. It's like one people can hate the Matrix and like, oh fuck the Matrix, fuck the Matrix, fuck the Matrix. It's like you can't even perceive what it would be like to be outside of the Matrix. And typically what people are trying to think about as far as outside of the Matrix is a whole nother dimension where you have some form, some some shape, form, and function of a body. That's still the Matrix. Anything that has a form ultimately has to be deformed at some point. People are not really conceiving what the fuck they're talking about when we're saying fuck the Matrix. I want to get out the Matrix. You can't conceive of not being in a form or function or having a name. Why? Because that's the limitations of the mind. The limitations of a mind automatically has no choice but to give you name, form, and function, and give you compounds of things. And if things are compounded, ultimately these things have to be ended. They have to end. They're going to die. Yes. And we're talking about something that's, we are the deathless. We are the unborn, the ever shining. The mind can't wrap his mind around it. That's why you can't make the self. You're not gonna be you're not gonna be able to make the self of the know thyself. You're not gonna be able to make that an object. It's impossible. Doesn't even it's not even a concept to this thing here. Just stop trying to do it. Cool TGS said crazy breakthrough for me this week. My heart is my new eye. My mouth can't express the beautiful feeling that God just is. Gems. Love to hear that. Love to hear that. Who can come through with them goddamn breakthroughs? That's what I'm talking about, bro. Know what I'm talking about, bro. Coach said, "My heart is my new eye. My heart is my new eye." Sorry, let's go. But do consciousness and matter form a final dualism? Irretrievable and unresolvable. The one into the other. Here we go. Samkhya and yoga philosophy say yes. Origin Prakriti, right? Self and nature, consciousness and matter form a final, irretrievable, irreconceivable duality. To separate it, but the Vedanta does not stop there. So, I be trying to get you to know the problem. But what about now? How we sound now? How we sound now? Yeah, to the other one. Hold up, y'all. Yo, yo, yo. How about now? How we sound now? How we sound now? What that sound do? What that sound do? Fucking technology, bro. Okay, bet, bet. Nah, nigga happy. Nah, nigga happy. Nah, nigga happy. Happy nigga, happy nigga, happy nigga. Happy nigga. Alright, so we left off with them talking about Sumkir Darshan, right? For those who have not, highly recommend it. From Travis Majors, from me to you. Highly recommend it to get an understanding, right? If you want to, right? But that is, they separate Purusha and Prakriti, right? They separate Purusha. They separate Purusha and Prakriti as something totally different. But what non-duality does, it groups them both into one. There is no separateness. Starting off, yes, you're gonna do things like in 1880. What's that? I am not this. 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 You will get to that point. You have to start with that point on the path of knowledge of self, saying that I am not this. The same thing, the 42 laws of Mayat. You start there. You don't finish there. You'll get up to this point and see that, oh, I am all of this. So you the matrix, all right? And everything that it involves. There is no matrix without you, the self. Okay, there's no lies, there's no happiness, there's no cheaters, there's no lovers, there's no fear, there's no doubt, there's no certainty, there's no confidence without you, the self. First, you got to figure out you're none of this, only to figure out that you are all of this. So, the first step is to detach or be made aware of that you are not these things that you have taken yourself to be as a limited person, as a person in general, as a limited mind. All right. So the goal is to separate them, but Vedanta doesn't stop there, right? So that's what I'm saying. Samkhya Darshan stops at. It stops at Purusha and Prakriti are separate. In the early 20th century physics, Einstein showed mathematically that energy and matter are different states of the same thing. They resolve into each other. Matter is a state of energy. The spiritual aspirant begins to see that both energy and matter are forms of the mind. Have you aspirants? Have you aspirants started to see this? That energy and matter are both forms of the mind? Right. Say Rave 66. Disconnect to reconnect. And all facts roll the flame. Yeah, that tech gonna try to do it, but we work this shit out, man. We work this shit out, man. We gonna work it out. So the spiritual aspirants begin to see that both energy and matter are forms of the mind. They exist within the mind, are formed by the mind, and are both resolved into the mind. Why do I keep saying? If you understand the mind, you're gonna understand this spiritual shit. No matter what spiritual system, you need to understand the mind first, and we skip that and try to find in a plug and play or a quick fix with trying to do rituals and hop into this system and try to do that first. We all have done it. At least the ones on my channel, right? We've all done it. Guilty. Guilty. We've all done it. So that's the only way to actually get to this point of anyway. I feel like in the West. Whatever, but we have a different so-called reality over here in the Americas, right? I don't even want to go too deep because we can just break all of that shit down right there. But nonetheless, because we don't wake up and you can go outside and can see a guru down the street. You know what I'm saying? Those type of gurus. So our gurus end up coming through YouTube and through books. You know what I'm saying? And study and experience. Direct experience. Remember that. Direct experience. So, we are still left, however, with consciousness and mind. Let's read that again. The spiritual aspirant begins to see that both energy and matter are forms of mind. They exist within the mind and are formed by mind, are both resolved into mind. We are still left, however, with consciousness in mind. With consciousness and mind. the latter manifesting as matter and energy. But in the verse, the higher teaching of Vedanta given, the very idea of sentience and insentience is imagined. There is no matter or energy or mind. Who asked that a couple days ago? There is no matter or energy or mind separate from consciousness. And none of those are able to exist outside of consciousness. These objects, oh, remember what we said an object is, right? Anything that appears to consciousness is labeled an object. So matter, energy, and mind are objects to you, the self, pure consciousness. Know thyself. The objects of consciousness are actually modifications of consciousness itself. Appearances of consciousness, waves that rise in the ocean of consciousness, because there is nothing but consciousness. Get you tired of hearing the word consciousness? Exactly. Nothing works without the seed of thought in the mind. Facts. So, I don't want to be smacking all in y'all ear. Says rude to eat on camera. Too bad. If I was on somebody else's show, probably wouldn't. But the infinite ocean of consciousness, which I am, the play of sentient and insentient begins to take place. There would be nothing, literally, because technically there is nothing. But this shit is like a fucking miracle. I think Mariah said the same shit. Like that's what I call this shit. Like it's like a cosmic joke, bro. Like there's nothing else to be fucking doing. Even though we really aren't doing anything. This is an appearance. This is a play, and we ran through those three states: the waking dream and the deep sleep. Everybody has those experiences, so we can run through that experience and get to understand. It's not some deep philosophical type shit. Everybody has that experience. So we literally know that if there is a knowing within his eye that we know that we are not really here experiencing shit or doing shit. But you have to be put under that layer of ignorance. Now I'm speaking from an understanding of the body mind complex to get like, a higher level of understanding. You have to be put under this ignorance to actually have anything here. And you can see it as suffering if you want to, or you can see it as beautiful if you want to. That's completely up to you and the level of your mind, which ultimately don't even fucking exist. Hopefully, this is making sense. But there is no other way for something that is nothing, right? Something that is nothing. Here's the paradoxical language of the words. Ultimately, these words are not going to describe what we're trying to describe. It's something that can't be described, something that's not, but also it is. The only way for it to have experiences is to put itself under veils of ignorance, to hide itself from itself, so it doesn't act like itself to have an experience. Leave with that. Why then we start assuming the separate existence of insentient matter? Why not start from this higher truth? We seek the subject because we just first well, we seek the subject because we must first know pure consciousness itself in order to free ourselves from the delusional pattern in which we are drowning. But once we have begun to come close, then we begin to sense that there is nothing but consciousness. There's nothing but consciousness. In self realization, we know it directly, perceive it, but at a point of sodomy, we begin to feel it intuitively. This is a non sodomite spiritual practice, right? 10 spiritual practice. Just as a dream is nothing but the mind taking the form of the dream world. So this whole universe and all its levels is nothing but a form of consciousness experience appearing in life. Right? So you can call it the dream if you want to dream, call it the real. I like the dream. It's nothing but the pure consciousness. Damn, y'all. No, ain't nobody. Nobody. Still job is still know this still job is still job right now. Plugged it and plugged it back in. And that's the reason why I switched softwares. Now this one doing the same damn thing. I probably need a better mic. Damn. Hold up, man. It's good now. Let me get somebody else. Let me know it's good before I start. So it do it after a couple minutes. I know it may be annoying to y'all, but it's definitely fucking annoying to me. Me trying to get this to y'all and keep doing it. But if y'all can, just keep letting me know. Just keep letting me know if it's still doing that. God damn, man.
All that bullshit ain't got shit to do with the goddamn soul.
All right. So we missed something here. Okay. So it said in self-realization, we know it directly, perceive it, but at a point in sadhana, we begin to feel it intuitively, just as a dream is nothing. It's all good, y'all. Just as a dream is nothing but the mind, right? The dream is nothing but the mind, taking the form of the dream world. So this whole universe, in in all its levels, is nothing but a form of consciousness appearing as object. That's what I'm saying. You gotta understand. You understand the mind, it'll start to make sense. Because all the contents in your mind. So when you see somebody in your dream, that's only your mind. That's you, your mind, creating them. Which means, even though it's them, even though it's your grandmama, your brother, your cousin, your girlfriend, your boyfriend in your dream, it's still you. So when I used to help people decode their dreams, we turn it right back to them. And this ain't about your boyfriend cheating. Nope, this ain't about your girlfriend cheating. Nope, this ain't about your grandmama. This is about you. All right? It's always been about you. Always. Imagine, imagined. like the moving and unmoving elements on the smooth surface of a mural. Okay, let's break that down. On a mural, we see people, a mural. I'm from, nigga from the south, mural. What's that? A mirror? You know, if a nigga saying it, if a nigga saying mirror, a mirror, a mule, like a mule, like they be on a farm, or like a mural. On a mural, we see people, animals, plants, buildings, whatever the artist has projected. And if it is realistically painted, we can suspend belief and talk about what people and animals are doing within the mural, right? But actually, it is just images on a plain, flat surface, with no difference between a painted rock and a painted human, except the color and the shape given. Of course, in modern times, we have even better analogies thanks to technology. Take a photograph, how real it appears. There's the appearance of depth, action, detailed, realistic portrayal of the sentient and insentient. So that's what I think about AI. That's what I think about all of this. What I'm finna say now. Now, in Hindu mythology, there's a state of the days and nights of Brahma. Brahma, not Brahmin, but Brahma. And when Brahma goes to sleep, the whole universe contracts back in on itself. And then it breathes back out again, and then it and it expands back out again, and a whole new thing, or it's like turning the PlayStation on and turning the PlayStation off. So, as our resemblance, as that reflector, or that reflection is resulted back down in the matrix, so called, the illusionary human beings in their mind have figured out to create things that actually mimic it to the best of its ability. Right? Cosmic motherfucking puzzle piece, what's happening? Facts, Mothra. Facts. Facts. If you on TikTok, which I'm just not starting to stream on all these platforms, TikTok and Instagram. Facebook got me blocked right now. Even though they just paid me a check, they told me I can't go live no more. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. TikTok, Instagram live, share this motherfucker out, y'all. Share this motherfucker out. So I just think human beings, or the human mind, is starting to work itself to a point. I feel like this is all just a part of the play, right? This is all just a part of the dream. But let's talk from an aspect of a person inside of it, not knowing that it is a dream and is highly intelligent. Let's talk from a very highly intelligent person's standpoint. So, what it is you would see that the human beings are evolving. Remember, when I'm saying evolving, I'm talking from the perspective of a person who is inside of it and don't know. CJ from San Andreas don't know he's in the game. So I'm talking from CJ, and CJ from San Andreas has gotten smarter, right? So he has gotten smarter, and he's finally realized he probably had some shit going on with spirituality, follow a spiritual system, and now CJ from San Andreas feels like, damn, we're actually evolving spiritual beings or evolving humans, and we've created and we have mimicked what this actual reality is. Some people say it's evil. Oh, technology is evil. Sunshine Chick, peace, peace, peace. Some people gonna say technology is evil. Technology is this, technology is that, and AI is this, and the movies are that. But what is actually happening here, the mind is starting to mimic consciousness, which it is anyway. It's just a lower grade of consciousness. The mind is trying to start mimicking it, which makes me think that what the Hindu mythology talking about is when this universe contracts back into itself, like the tree of life goes back into Aang Sof and Aang Sofar. Once it pulls itself back in, then it pushes itself back out again. Or reality in itself, not just say this universe. Because you motherfucker, well, I'm going to another universe. No, motherfucker, all universes. Because they only exist in your mind anyway. So the universe will start to contract back into itself. And at that point, what do you think is happening? At that point, what's happening is, I would assume Self realization is happening inside of that reality. And once it's figured out, it's time to go bye bye. And that's just that in a nigga terminology of a nutshell. What the fuck was just said here. So, of course, in modern times, we have an even better analogy. Think technology. Take a photograph, how real it appears. There's the appearance of depth, action, um, depth and action, detail, realistic. Hold up, depth and action, detailed, realistic portrayal of the sentient and insentient. Yet it is all on a flat piece of photographic paper. Even better, take a movie. Here we see motion action. We travel from a country to a country, enter a car chase, a speedboat, launch into outer space, dive under the ocean, and yet we are seated in the theater looking at the flat screen. After a good movie, we feel that we have, in some sense, lived through the story, experienced what the actors experienced, and yet we never left our seat. Y'all already get that analogy, right? Y'all know that. In a cinematic car chase, we feel swayed from side to side as the car swerves. Yet it is all on a flat screen that doesn't move. We ourselves are seated at a distance from the screen. Who's that that's seated? Who's that is seated at a distance from the screen? Who is that? Is that you? The self? Uninvolved, unaffected, unbothered? What the girl be saying? Unbothered? That's your true nature. Okay, hold up. And such is an actual, listen, and such is our actual real life experience. If we only look deeply, we are not involved. We are deathless. We are the unborn. We never go anywhere. We never go anywhere. So he said, we never go anywhere. That I am walking from point. Hold up. Okay. And such is our actual real life experience. If we only look deeply, we never go anywhere. When I think, there we go. When I think that I am walking from point A to B, the body is moving in relationship to its surroundings. And if I think that I am the body inside of the body, yes, I am moving from point A to B. You see what I'm saying? So I got to highlight that. But that's the way that I can get better at discussing this with that shit. How it sound now, y'all? We still choppy? Is we still choppy? Y'all know I gotta hide when I do my drug, my my dream. When I do my dream. Okay, we good. We good. Okay. We about to run that back. I'm sorry, y'all, about the technology shit. I don't know what to do, bro. Wi-Fi good. Listen, y'all don't know what I went through to get this all to work. I got a new computer. Got a new computer. Thought it was my laptop. Laptop fucking up my streams. This streaming shit is the most important to me in my life right now. You know what I'm saying? Doing what we doing right here, right now. Got a brand new laptop. Got a brand new computer. Same mic. Got a whole new setup, plugins, and all of that. Went got all of that. You know what I'm saying? Went got a whole new Wi-Fi repeater. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole new Wi-Fi repeater to make sure the Wi-Fi come through strong. That didn't work. Had to go get a whole nother one and add it on to the AT&T bill. Now it works. Now the Wi-Fi good. Wi-Fi good. That I know for sure. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Standing on P, Priest Doc. You didn't change your name, bro. You didn't change your name. I remember the picture. If you want to change the picture, I would remember. El Ra, Priest Doc. It's good now, but it seems like you got a gremlin in the computer. It seems to go choppy every 5 minutes. Yep. Yep, that's what they've been saying. Cool. Oh, man. Damn, man. Alright, so we good right now though, right? Let's go on and get this shit away. So here we go. Cause I have to constantly also speak like a double speak. I believe at some point I'm just gonna get sick of it and stop even giving a fuck of trying to correct and get people to understand from different perspectives. Like that, I understand why Panic got the way that he got, and he started cussing motherfuckers out because like I've been doing it. He been doing this shit for so goddamn long. Like god damn, this ain't where you need to be. Get off the live stream. This ain't where you're supposed to be if you don't get it. God damn it. Because that's in reality, that's really what it is. But after you've been doing it so long, this shit can be fucking annoying. So, but this is what I'm talking about right here. Speaking from one context of a mind body complex, and then speaking from the ultimate perspective of pure consciousness, pure awareness. All right. So, so I think if I think that I am walking from point A to B, the body is moving in relationship to its surroundings. And if I think that I am the body or inside of the body, then yes. So, yes, I am actually moving from point A to B. If I think that the I that I consider myself to be is the body or in the body, then yes, I am moving from point A to B. If I see myself as the light which illuminates experience, then the body and the surrounding world of experience are experienced within that light. And the body is seen as moving in relationship to the surrounding objects. But all is happening within the steady, unmoving light of consciousness. All right? As the light of consciousness, I go nowhere. If I'm identifying as consciousness, the light, I go nowhere. I am the unmoving screen on which all things and movements appear. Let me highlight, underline that. I am the unmoving screen on which all things and all movement appear. That's who you are. As Swami Vivekananda said, using an image appropriate to his time, what did he say? I am omnipresent, eternal. Where can I go? Right? If I am if I no, I am omnipresent, eternal. Where can I go? Where am I not already? Where are you not already? Where you trying to go? What you in a rush for? You rushing to the self and you already yourself? Where are you not already? Let's say that again. I am omnipresent, eternal. Where can I go? Where am I not already? I am reading this book of nature. Page after page, I am finishing and turning over, and one dream of life after another goes away. So each one of us is reading the book of life, turning page after page, but going nowhere. It is the pages that turn. Let's read that again. I am reading this book of nature page after page. I am finishing and turning over, and one dream of life after another goes away. So each one of us is reading the book of life, turning page after page, but going nowhere. It is the pages that turn. You know how we be like, I'm in a new chapter of my life. You know, it's just a new chapter, starting off a new chapter, starting off a new chapter, starting off a new chapter. You are identifying yourself with the page. You are identifying yourself with the book. What about the one who's reading the fucking book? Did anybody ever stop to think about that? Who is the person that's observing this new chapter of your life? It's a new chapter of your life. It's a new chapter of the life of that story inside of that book. You have made the mistake and started to identify yourself with the fucking book and the pages and the words on the book. You think these words on the book, you think these pages is actually you. Not the case. Not the case. Not the case. Not the case. Oh shit. Not the case. Some people just can't get the concepts without some kind of buffoonery to go with it. Nah, facts, where you species. Facts. Facts. Shit. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go before I start tripping. You are going nowhere. Remember that. That's why I said there is no spiritual evolution. If you're identifying with the body going from point A to point B, then yes, you're fucking spiritually evolving. But if you identify with the light that is illuminating those experiences that you have in so-called spiritually, you're not evolving. You're not going anywhere. You're not doing anything but observing. Not only is the universe unreal, together with the idea of heaven in even liberation, but verse 20 collapses even the core practice taught throughout this text. Uh-oh. Let's go. So not only is the universe unreal, together with the idea of heaven or even liberation. That's all not real. None of that's real. All of that is on the page of the book. All of that is on the page of the book. And you are identifying with the page on the book. Tickety top. So, all right, hold up, y'all. So, now that we understand that we're not evolving spiritually, there's no spiritual evolution unless you identify with the body and the mind. Then you can say that you're evolving it spiritually, which I'm cool with. I ain't against it. Nobody's saying that. You know what I'm saying? But that's just like the objective reality. That's the relative reality. That's the phenomenon. That's the phenomenon. That's the reality of phenomenon. You are above that. So technically, you're not a spiritual being having a human experience. Technically, you are the highest light existence itself observing reality. You're just observing. You're just reading the pages on a book called life. That's it. Didn't God say something in the Bible or something like that? Like your name is written in the book of life or something? I don't know. Never mind. If I butcher that and fuck that up. Let's see. I decided, let's see. Oh, cool, cool. TGS. Hey man, that's another fuck. Let me read the comment. I decided to bring along fire to consciousness while I waited for my car to be repaired. Man, oh man, swimming my garage and cleaning. Didn't expect my reaction to shift at the mechanic. Hey, that's why I keep saying, like, listen, y'all, Sri Maharaj ends all of this, nothing else. Not even just him as a human being, bro. Pick that book up. Prepare for your fucking mind to be blown. Pick that book up. It's top fucking notch, man. It's big. That right now, what we're reading is elementary as far as non-duality at the way that we're going to go. You can move up, then you get to Sri Maharaj. Yeah, we finna get ready to get finished. Cause I don't know. It might just be today, yo, y'all. Probably should have restarted my computer. I don't know, bro. We finna get ready to go. We got two more verses to go though. How I sound now? Is it choppy again now? Hey, nah, facts are impeccable. Swami V, Swami Vivekananda, PG-13. He was taking it easy on them folks when he was talking in the 1800s. You see what I'm saying? Swami Maharaj, he stopped teaching. He died in like the 80s or the 90s, I believe. See what I'm saying? So he's more current in our age. You see what I'm saying? I mean, his shit is fucking rated. That shit is like Pornhub, nigga. It's like no restrictions at all, nigga. Straight nasty, freak nasty. All right, we good. Yeah, Mirage, bro. If we do read that, I think that's when we'll probably start like a what's that shit people be doing? Not Discord, Patreon. If we read that, we gonna do a Patreon. Don't worry, I make that shit very affordable. Cause that gotta be for only the ones that's serious about the shit. I don't give a fuck if it's three of us in that motherfucker. That'll be something that where for those who really serious about that shit and who really, you know what I'm saying, putting forth effort, like no play type shit. But that shit ain't, you know what I'm saying? But that's another story. That's another day, another topic, another story. Let's get back to it, y'all. All right. 20. Even my witnesshood, which is dependent upon my connection to mental activity, is not real, but only an assumption in this waveless ocean of consciousness alone. So, even my witnesshood is dependent upon connection to mental activity is not real. In order to be a witness, I must be connected to the mind, and through it to the senses, and through them to the external world. To the external world. In the self itself, there is no mentality. Listen, in the self itself, there is no mentality, no thought, no perception, and therefore no witnessing. Didn't I say the primal state is ignorance? The first state is ignorance. The blissful state is ignorance. I know nothing. Because when I know things that hurt me. Now I know things that feel good, and now I know things that feel bad. The no thing state. Pure ain. What zero at? Pure ain. Pure ain. Ignorance. Pure ignorance. The real ignorance. Not I can't tie my shoe ignorance. Not that I don't know my timetables ignorance. Not that type of ignorance. But the knowing of nothing. Who were you before you were born? You have no choice but to say, I don't know. Unless you're gonna come up with some concept. Oh, I was nothing but pure melanin. Oh, I was a god. I was this. You don't know. That's the state you want to be in. Ultimately, not knowing. That's why I keep saying all these concepts we learning and all this and this and this and that, and attaching ourselves to them, it's pulling you further and further and further away from your original state. So it says, in order to be a witness, I must be connected to the mind, and through it to the senses, and through them to the external world. In the self itself, there is no mentality, no thought, no perception, and therefore no witnessing. Therefore, the standpoint of the witness is not ultimately real. It is a valuable approximation for practice. It's good for practice though. That's why I just keep sending us back to, hey, observe your thoughts, observe your mind, observe your emotions, observe your surroundings, so-called surroundings. It's good for practice to get to a point though. It is a valuable approximation for practice. For Sadhana, when we are caught up in the mentality in the perceived world, right? When we're caught up in all of that, it's good to do that. But when the mind and the world dissolve, so does the state of the Saxon. But only an assumption in the waveless oceans of consciousness alone. Let's see how they break that down. The truth is the st- the truth is the still, right? The truth is the still, the silent, the blissful, the free, the unlimited ocean of consciousness alone, where there is nothing, where there is neither I nor thou. No God, no man, no high, no low, no inside, no outside, no bondage, no moksha, no liberation. All relativity is transcended. All relativity is transcendent. That's your primal, that's your ultimate state. While we thinking our ultimate state is some God of some fucking universe. Nah, I can't say that. I can't say that. Like, it's no, no. The ultimate state is nothing. That's why I told you when I was learning the tree of life, when I got into it, which I already had an inkling of this understanding, but the tree of life gave me even more by learning this shit through Trav. And what I came down to the conclusion with, all the happening is happening down here. Everybody's trying to get to the highest point. Ain't shit going on up there. Literally. I remember I kept saying that just before I even ran into the concept of non-dualism. Ain't shit going on up there, gang. All the happening is happening here. There's nothing going on up there. There's nothing going on up there. Nothing going on. Literally, no thing is happening. So there is what kind of put no moksha is wild. Yes, no moksha because there's nothing to be liberated from. That's what I telling you. Like with detachment, like detached from what? You're not attached to anything. You the self. It's impossible for you to be attached to anything. This world is impermanent and deceiving. That let you right there. Huh? This word is impermanent, deceiving. That let you right there. Damn, sir, impeccable. I misunderstood your statement with that one. Let's see. You're not evolving spiritually. You're going nowhere. Nah, facts, Ray 636. Facts. And for me, that's why a lot of this started clicking and made it easy for me because once the unfortunate that fifth chapter on non-existence or negative existence, whatever it was, that was the most profound shit to me. Don't get me wrong, the rest of the Sephiroths on the tree was profound. But the most profound shit to me was her talking about ain't so far. And who knew right down the line I would end up getting into the shit. This is the talk of ain't so far. You want to understand ain't so far? Wait we're done to got you. At the way that we're done to got you. Or, you know what I'm saying? You really want to get even deeper? Want to get straight to aim? Shri Maharaj. Straight Shri Maharaj. He talking about you beyond consciousness, even then. But I'm like, hey, it ain't even hey. You know what I'm saying? Niggas can't even, when I say niggas, I mean everybody. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, figure of speech. Niggas, everybody. It's hard for us still to perceive how we are consciousness and not the mind. We'll work our way up there. Like I said, we'll probably have a group, small group read with that on the Patreon or some shit to tap into that type of advanced shit. It's so advanced. It's simple though. It's real simple though. Shit is very fucking simple. And remember what they spoke about in the tree of life? How you go up the tree, the more simple it gets. So the human mind cannot go that far. We talking Kether talk now. We talking ain't so far talk now. That's what we talking. This here, this is what this is talking about. I digress. So, so the truth is still silent, liquid, free, unlimited ocean of consciousness alone. But there is neither I nor thou, no God, no man, no high, no low, no inside, no outside, no bondage, no moksha. Our relativity is transcended. This is not the way. We have transcended all of that shit. Okay? Please hear me. Oh man, I fucked up. So, let's get to verse 21, y'all. The world are relative concepts, even the highest, being reduced to appearance only. My freedom of all relativity is declared in the verse 21. See, y'all see freedom? Y'all want motion? Let's get into it. Let's get into it. It says, when ladies arising, we rise in the ocean. Immortality, immortality, no law, there's no law. It was a dream, right? Evil, the passion, the around the mountain of crystal. They when these arise in those ways, your suffering, your happiness, your birth, your guys, the beauty, your spiritual system, all those are false ways. That's what it is. False ways rise in the ocean of immortality. There is no life. The dream like even in clouds of the together around me. The mountain of crystal, they color me not. So great clouds, they don't color the mountain. But when the great clouds pop up, they don't color the sun. The sun is still doing what it does. They don't change nothing about the sky. The great clouds pop up, they don't change nothing about the sky. The sky is unaffected. The sky itself is unaffected. How we sounding now? It literally may be time for a new mic. Or it could be the software. That's what be fucking me up. How we sound now? I'm gonna run it back. I'm gonna run it back. Let me know how we sound now. Am I good to run it back? Am I clear?
All that old bullshit ain't got shit to do with the goddamn soul.
How we sound, y'all? We choppy, choppy, choppy? Are we rocking? How we rocking? We clear. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Damn, I missed something. The human mind can only go so far up and so far down without needing to return to the center. Facts. Facts. Damn, I've been missing some goddamn comments. My bad, y'all. Hold up. Let's get to it. When false waves arise in me, the ocean of immortality, there is no loss. So if I am the ocean of immortality, these false waves that are rising up in me, called spiritual systems, called life, called death, called heartbreaks, called love, called fear, called doubt, called dimensions. Not love and like that, but I'm talking about like so-called little fake little love stories and all of that type shit, right? Your life. Fuck. There we go. Life. Because we understand that pure consciousness is love itself. You, the self, are love itself. That's why we say when you get with your soulmate, it ain't nothing but you loving your goddamn self. Right? You flawless. Right. Flawless. Right. So, when the dream-like evening clouds of delusion gather around me, who is this me? The mountain of crystal, they color me not. So all these things that are appearing, basically what he's saying, all of these things are appearing are delusions, are false. All things that's appearing to me, the self, are false. They're not affecting me. Okay? That's what they're saying. It's not affecting me. Let's go. So let's break down this statement. Not eternal in the sense of duration, like lasting forever or over countless eon. And that is why there is no possibility of Inu. People ask, or Inai, people ask, what happens after realization? Worry that it's going to be very terribly boring affair after a while. People like to ask what's happening after self-realization. They think it's going to be a boring fucking life. They think it's going to be a boring and terrible life after a while. But nothing happens. There is no doing. There is no coming or going. No before and no after. Just the infinite now. Can you wrap your mind around that? Let's read that again. What happens after self realization? People ask. Worry that it's going to be terribly boring after a while. But nothing happens because nothing actually never happened. All you coming to do is realize that nothing ever happened. But nothing happens. There is no doing, there is no coming or going, no before and after, just the infinite now. Eternal in the sense of timeless. Like there is nothing, there's no concept of time at all. And hence the deathless, right? Timeless and deathless and immortal. In me, who am such, let universes arise and disappear. There is no loss. They are false in the sense that they appear and disappear. This is what we mean when we say false. This is what we mean when we say this reality is false. It's false in the sense that it appears and disappears. It's not true. What we consider true, what we consider real, never goes anywhere. It never changes, but everything else changes. So it's false. Vedanta says that Vedanta says that which did not exist in the past will not exist in the future. Doesn't really exist now in the present. If it doesn't exist in the future or the past, it doesn't even really exist in the now. It's just an appearance. Just an appearance. Just a fucking appearance. We find that hard to understand. Listen, I got a bracket around this, so let's see what the fuck this said. And a star around this, so let's see what the fuck this said. We find that hard to understand only because we know nothing else. We know nothing else. The mind can't conceive anything else. We know nothing else. So it's going to be very hard because all we know is contents of the mind. That's it. It's all a human being knows. Contents of the mind. We find that hard to understand only because we know nothing else. Right now, we know only appearance. And if that is not real, then we are left empty. That's what this shit seems to do to a person who hasn't realized, who doesn't understand it. You think once you become self-realized, you don't do shit. You don't have sex no more. You don't eat chicken gizzards like me no more. You don't have hot flaming fucking Doritos and you gotta eat nasty vegan, which I like vegan food, so don't get that twisted. You think all of this shit you can't do, you can't go to the club, you can't go to the mall no more, then you can't take a travel, think you don't need to be in a relationship no more? Need to is probably a strong word, but you think you can't be in a relationship no more because you don't understand this shit. You're not getting it. So right now, right now, we know only appearance, and if that is not real, then we are left empty. No, no, these appearances are appearances of the real. Didn't we say all is Brahman? Did we not say all is Brahman? First, you have to go through the stages of not this, I'm not this. I'm not that, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not this. Then you come to realize that no, even the Maya, the Matrix, is you, the self. Come on, man. No, these appearances are appearances of the real, of reality, of the self. And so, how can we be left empty? How can you be left empty? How can you be left empty if literally everything that is everything is you? What you mean you lonely? What you mean life hard? What you mean you ain't got enough? What do you mean? What are you getting this from? That's the mind trying to tell you. You have started to compare yourself to outside things. The mind has started comparing itself to something on the outside. I don't even want to go that deep, but that's another story. The appearance disappears, and the reality, which was always there, always shining in the midst of the appearance without our knowing it, remains. When that is known, we can enjoy the show. That's what I just posted on my what's the name today. Be happy. None of it ever happened. Be happy. Everybody talking about Trump, aliens, and reptiles, and shadow government, and white supremacy, and whatever the fuck else. And I'm just like, damn, bro, this dream is so fucking dope. We got aliens. I'm in my dream shooting aliens, and in my dream, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with somebody called Donald Trump, or dealing with some shadow government that's really secretly sucking our, doing all this blood, and you know what I'm saying, doing all this and that, and the whatever. Damn, my dream is lit. This dream lit. This movie is lit. This book is fucking lit. Yeah, just as we enjoy a thriller in a cinema, something that would be a terror actually live through. The whole universe becomes a play. Delight. You know what? I'm actually gonna read that again. The whole thing. The whole fucking thing. That needs to stick. We find that to understand only because we know nothing else. Right now, we know only appearance. And if that is not real, we are left. No, these appearances are appearances of the real, of reality, of the self. So how can we be left empty? Appearance disappears and the reality which was always there, always shining in the midst of the appearances without our knowing it. That is known that we can enjoy the show. Just as we enjoy a thriller at the cinema, something that would be a terror to actually live through. The whole universe will come to play a delight. Let me see. I was saying, Roy Frank says, I was just saying to Zero the other day, he'll get the love man would say the thing about the guy like who was supposed to and screw his life up. You guys are actually me. The shit. Fact. Fact. He could probably interpret it. Reality is beautiful. You see it all every day. With what a lot of people are talking about. That, bro. That. Nobody gotta get to the nitty gritty of the aspect of understanding this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that some of us may never experience certain things. But I'm saying that I'm afraid of what I know. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody in the program, you don't know how to really have the experiences. You just talk to what can they talk? What can they talk to? Type shit that I'm on. Like I done really dealt with real deal experiences with these so-called spirits, demons, and goddesses and gods and all of that. And it's like down to get down to the fundamental principle of what this shit is. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers run to this shit trying to run from reality out of life. You know what I'm saying? Because they always felt weird, always felt different with the victim mindset. And that victim mindset, check this out. When you tap into this spiritual shit, this is occult shit. That victim mindset, once you get into this shit, it is going to expand it. That victimized mindset is going to expand. That fear, that uncertainty, and doubt that you have in you is going to expand. Telling you from experience and telling you from an experience of overcoming that shit. It's going to expand it. It's not going to suppress it. It's not going to erase it. You have to deal with it face on. You have to have discernment through you, who you consider you as the mind body complex. If you're not willing to do that, this is not the shit that you need to be tapping into. It's not. It's going to expand that shit, man. Let's go. All right. So let's get to this next statement, right? Let them break it down. This statement says, when the dreamlike evening clouds of delusion gather around me, the mountain of crystal, they color me not. Let's go. The crystal is perfectly clear, a good symbol of the self, which is beyond all qualities, right? And yet, a red hibiscus held next to the crystal makes the crystal appear red. Let's do this, right? We got the clear water bottle. This is the self. This is us, the clear water bottle, right? And it's clear, right? It's clear. It's clear. Get my face out of it. It's clear. And then, boom. Now the water bottle looks green. I mean, obviously, you know it's not the way the light is reflecting off of it. But now the water bottle looks clean, green. You see what I'm saying? And now, if I put this in front, the water bottle looks black or whatever the fuck color, or red. You see what I'm saying? But the clear bottle, aka the self, aka you, aka pure consciousness, it's unaffected. It's not colored. It just appears colored. You appear to be a colored person. You appear to be a colored. You what Donald Trump called black people the blacks. You appear to be the blacks. You appear to be the whites. You appear to be the Asians, folks. You appear. It's not real. That appearance is at the end gonna disappear. In that sense, it's not real. It's false. Remember that. So the crystal is perfectly clear, a good symbol of the self, which is beyond qualities. So you're beyond those qualities, right? And yet, a red hibiscus held next to the crystal makes the crystal appear red. Remove the flower, and the crystal is the same as always, untouched. There is no residue of color, no possibility of residue adhering to the crystal. And even when the hibiscus sits next to the crystal, making it appear red, the crystal is even then untouched. And so, I, the mountain of pure crystal, am untouched by the dreamlike clouds of delusion that gather round me. The dream of the dream state. Listen, the dream of the dream state, the dream of the deep sleep state, and the dream of the waking state. Listen, they appear to color me, but I am untouched by all. Let them arise or let them disappear. I, like crystal, remain the same. Let all these appearances come. What are we fighting for? Let Trump do what he's doing. Let America go through. If it's about to fucking go to pieces, let it do what it do. It has no effect on me. Pure self consciousness, pure consciousness. None of that has an effect on me. What all black people are doing has no effect on me. What all white people are doing has no effect on me. What your parents love, your family love, your cousin love, your uncle love, your sister love, or dislike and hate has no effect on you. What you like, the chips you like, the vapes that I smoke that I like, has no effect on me. The GMO food that I eat has no effect on me, the self. Let it come. Let it do what it's going to do. Ultimately, I still got to say it because, no, you're saying we shouldn't eat healthy? What are you saying? You're not spiritual. We should eat healthy. That ain't got shit to do with the soul.
All that bullshit ain't got shit to do with the goddamn soul.
Got nothing to do with the soul. It has nothing to do with the soul. It has nothing to do with the soul. Let it come. And that's the way Sri Maharaj would talk to him. I'm like, oh, okay, Maharaj, I'll stay here for 2 days. Shit, leave right now. Go now. Man, come and tell me you're gonna stay for 5 days and get this teaching. Leave now. What are you talking about? You're not limited to how you gotta stay. Bye. Because why? He understand he's speaking from that state. He's not speaking from the body mind complex. Oh no, please stay longer. Okay, you want to stay 2 days? Okay, that's fine. Thank you. He's speaking from the state of pure self who is unaffected, uncolored by any appearance. Let me read that again. I, the mountain of pure crystal, am untouched by the dream-like clouds of delusion that gather around me. The dream of the dream state, the dream of the deep sleep state, the dream of the waking state, they appear to color me, but I am untouched by all. Let them arise or let them disappear. I, the crystal, remain the same. But one might ask, isn't that a terribly lonely state? Let's see. How can that be lonely where I realize myself to be the where I allow myself where I realize myself to be the whole, the infinite, without end, that in which universe after universe arises. How can I be alone? How could I be bored if I identify with the whole, that if I identify with that which is the whole, the infinite without end, that in which every universe after universe arises. Loneliness coming from Loneliness comes from the feeling myself cut off from the larger world around me. What? Loneliness comes from feeling myself cut off from the larger world around me. I am small, and the outside universe, which is vast, has ignored me. That's where that loneliness shit comes from, right? Because you heavily identify with the body and the mind. That's where the loneliness comes from. You don't know who you really are. People feel like they know who they are, and people don't accept me for who I am. You have to accept me for who I am and what I identify with. I'm gothic and or I'm a nerd, I'm a geek, or whatever sexual preference that shit too. You identifying with the body and mind, so you're gonna feel excluded from the world. I felt like that growing up black. Of course I did. So called appearing as black. Of course I did. I understand the falsity of that shit now. Yeah, yeah. I placed those limitations on myself because I didn't know who I was as the self, right? I am small, and the outside universe, which is vast, has ignored me. Why but I am the reality of all. But from nothing, nothing outside of myself to long for. No one outside of myself to desire. Doubts, because right now we know nothing about our present state, and naturally project limitations on, I mean, naturally project the limitations of that onto realization. There's your verses for today, y'all. There's your verses for today. I just read to verse 22, so to let you see what we're getting to next week. But that's it. You have placed the limitations on yourself. You have placed the limitations upon yourself. Nobody else has done that. I mean, the mind has done that. That's what we do. It places limitations on itself so it can see itself in existence. It can attach itself. Ultimately, the mind knows it's not eternal. Ain't that crazy? How the mind try to make everything eternal, but ultimately it knows it's not eternal. So it tries to give, like people that they feel like they're not smart, so they try to sound real smart, make everybody else sound like they know they're not. Same thing. Ego. Not that type of ego. That type of ego. Pride. But I'm really talking about the attachment. That's Asian. You feel like you're not that, so you want to portray yourself as that, which is the same thing. I'm God. So you gotta convince you. So it is. It's myself. The place of meditation. Space right. That's what I really But it has to start from that point where you're convincing yourself, I'm God, I'm God, I'm God. Like I was saying, especially black people, right? Because we come from in this matrix, in this reality, in this story, in this book, in this cinema film. We come from we don't know none of it. We don't know shit about our ancestors. We don't know shit about the culture that we came from as a whole. Of course, it's been what I'm saying shown now, but nobody can place themselves to a tribe. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really knows shit. So we went through an identity crisis. And you get somebody like John Henry Clark. And you get somebody like Francis Chris Wilson. And you get somebody like Dr. Ben. You get somebody like, Delbert Blair. You get somebody like Baba Kalindi. You get somebody like Brother Panic. You get somebody like Bobby Hemmett, who was speaking directly to those people who had a fucking identity crisis. And come to find out, the people with the identity crisis have done some of the most profound fucking shit inside of the fucking matrix. So then we get up to that point to convince ourselves. And I'm not saying convincing is a lie. What I'm saying is we had to convince ourselves, right? We had to convince ourselves that we are this most superior thing. And then there are some who stop there. I'm not one of those ones who stops there. I don't need Afrocentric pride. Okay, I've understood all of that stuff. Okay, great. Built pyramids, didn't build pyramids, pure melanin, dark matter. Okay, great. The most divine, okay, great. Now what? Because we still living down this motherfucker. I didn't stop there. Won't stop there. Didn't stop there, as you can see where we are here. Not stopping at being an occultist neither. Not stopping there. Woo, cosmic puzzle piece. God damn it, you right. And that further goes along, like, okay, let's talk from that perspective, right? That further goes along with the divinity of that. There's some divinity in that. So let's say, I would say, basically put it like this. I would say black people are the oldest characters in this story. Black people are the oldest characters in this movie film. We're the oldest characters. And we played every fucking role that can ever fucking be played. To the point where we just went straight into ignorance of not knowing. And that will show you, right? That will show you how long that thing or that person or that concept of black people has been here. Eh, it's showing, we reading it here. The primal state is not knowing shit. The whole world think we ignorant and don't know shit. No, we did every goddamn thing. There's nothing else for us to do. And that's what Bobby left off at. That's what Panic left off at. Same shit Gnosis is saying. We've done it all, bro. We played every character in the fucking movie, bro. We didn't been enslaved, and we have enslaved. We've been kings and queens of the world, and we've also been the most poorest and brokest of the world. Built up all the spiritual systems. We built up. So the fuck what? Now the fuck what? That's what State Bobby got to. He figured that shit out. He figured it out. He figured it out, bro. He figured it out. It came from knowing to feeling good stories. Facts, Ray 636. You are much more than a human body with titles and labels based on societal acceptance. Facts. Facts, man. We beyond that. Now the fuck what? Fucking be the richest on the planet and take back the planet again? Really? 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 Not over here. Don't come over here with that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of spiritual people don't like the shit I be saying. I'm like, that's cool, do it. Like, I don't want it to stop. Like, don't stop it. You know what I'm saying? But like, that's not where I'm placing my resilience at. That's not where I'm placing my divinity at trying to fucking run a planet again. Like we did fucking 120,000 years ago. Ah, what the fuck, man? We did it. What Bobby say, been there, done it, got the t-shirt. What's next? It's this mind. Getting to understand the mind and you will understand the reality. And when you understand the reality, finito. It's done. It's done. That don't mean I won't slap a bitch. Yeah. Yeah. Where did that come from? I don't know. But we got to get beyond that. And it's not for everybody. I understand that. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. How do you motherfuckers think you found me? I had to be speaking something that spoke to you. Because ultimately, who are y'all? Nothing but me. Ultimately, you're nothing but me. Under the disguise of different fucking names and different fucking shapes and different fucking conditions and different appearances. But you're nothing but me. So, with that being said, we have concluded this session. Roll the Flame said, I love what you're saying. Brave 636. I'm still in my studies of occultism, but even with that, I'm much more than any title or labels, especially under hive mind groups. No, I know you are. Facts. I know you are. Facts. I know you are. And all I say is, same here as far as occult studies. Because what is occult studies really? To study the hidden behind the apparent. That's it. That's really it. And what's the most hidden than the self? And also, what's the most apparent? The self. This is where occultism or any spiritual system ends. Because you're looking for the hidden concepts, only to find out those hidden concepts is actually the things that are not hidden. So, the point I was going to make is like, yeah, so ultimately, you're above that. I'm above that because I still study occult shit. You have no choice but to be above that. Even if we didn't know we were above that, you are the self. It has nothing to do with just because Gnosis said it, just because Panic said it, Bobby said it, and got nothing to do with them. You are that. I am that. This book read is giving my daily ritual so much power. Now that I know I am beyond it all, you are the source. There is no successful ritual outside of you, the self. There is no ritual outside of you, the self. So, y'all, let's read the beginning of what we're going to read next week. Verse 22. It says, the next three verses analyze one by one my nature as Sat Chit Ananda, right? Which means existence, consciousness, and bliss. So, next week, we're going to learn about our nature as existence and consciousness and bliss. Not as qualities, but just pureness, pure existence, pure consciousness, and pure bliss itself. Not as qualities, because qualities can change and depreciate. So let's read the first part of that verse so we know what we get into next week. If y'all got the book, I would definitely encourage you to read ahead. 22. As spaceness. So you got to create new words for this type of shit. As spaceness is the nature of space, so existence is nothing but my own nature. See what I'm saying? Check this out. Repeat what they just said. As spaceness is the nature of space, so existence is nothing but my own nature. Not the quality of mine. I was just saying that, right? Just said that existence is not considered a classification. There is no existence other than me, man. There's no existence other than me. And it's so fucking obvious because like there's literally no existence outside of your awareness. Existence literally doesn't exist until you awareness are aware. Make it a thing. So what am I saying? Everything that you see and that you experience, what I'm saying, ultimately, nigga, ultimately, what I'm saying, there's no such thing as fucking history, or fucking human history. None of that exists because this level, no fucking human history ever fucking existed because it's an appearance. It arises and it goes. The only thing that exists, it's right here, right now. As soon as you do that Gucci, you don't even remember what to do that Gucci. Somebody got nothing but hearsay. Nigga, you got nothing but hearsay. Everybody told you you were that thing. This was your name.
All that old bullshit ain't got shit to do with the goddamn soul.
And everything that seems to be real is only an object that pops up into your awareness. You are the subject, the pure subject, untouched, unscathed. You are that, and it gonna always be that. Much love, y'all. My audio keep fucking up. We out this bitch. Fuck it, man.